Hi, welcome to JulesFM. I'm Jules. In part 2 of my conversation with Suzie Betts, entrepreneur and founder of Boob Protect, I asked Suzie what she'd tell her younger self, the lessons that she's learnt along the way, and what she hopes every aspiring entrepreneur knows before they start. And if you haven't listened to part 1, check it out, as it's a great insight into how her story began and why the issue of breast health is so important to Suzie. But we pick up here with Suzie's advice for anyone who's starting this journey. What would you say to someone who is in your position, a young person wanting to start their own business? What advice would you give them?
Well, there's so many of them who are doing it, and some of them are overnight successes. So, I look at them and I'm like, I'm so envious of what you're doing. If I could go back a bit, I probably would have. No, I wouldn't probably have changed anything, because everywhere I am I had to take that path to get there. I think, doing your due diligence, working out that there is obviously a problem and you've got the solution. And I suppose getting a team behind you and a mentor would be amazing.
Do you have a mentor? Oh, sorry.
No, I don't have a mentor. I have people I have conversations with.
Yeah.
I've had a few people who've tried to help me along the way, but then they and what am I getting out of that? And there's oh, you went from being my mentor to what's in it for me now. Yeah. So I've become really reserved and very sus on things as well. And I don't like that, but I've become a little less trusting in people, and then it makes me not take those steps. But you do need a soundboard, and, Mum's a great soundboard in the research stuff, but she knows nothing about marketing and advertising. She calls an Instagram post an ad. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, that thing you did, that ad. And I go, that's not an ad, Mum, that's a post. She goes, well, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about then. And then, my husband's an ex-footballer, so he should be good, but he's got his own, business and stuff to talk to about. So a lot of it I do in my own head, but it would be great to have a mentor or someone and it'd be great to have investors who truly believe in what you're doing and are there to see it through, not just for a quick return.
Yeah. So is that something you're open to?
Absolutely, if they're the right people. I've had a lot that are like, after Munich, I had this German company, and they're like, and we will make it, I've got the face of it, it's going to be a female boxer. And I said, no. Boxing's great, but you can get an injury just by that.
It's too niche.
So it's too niche. That's not our people. Yes, they need to be wearing it, and we're working with England Boxing actually to make it mandate, but it's way less than that. It's falling over. It's, in playing sport, it's, body to body. It's not this, it doesn't have to be a whack to the boobs all the time.
So hearing that then, I mean, would you even think people should wear them all the time? Like, is that, because it can happen anytime, but...
Well, no, I don't. But I do think in sport like netball, anything. Yeah. Netball, when I played, wasn't as physical as it is now. You stopped so you wouldn't step. Now it's like half basketball. But I do think anything where there's contact impact or a ball, absolutely. Yes. I don't think in tennis, because you're covering yourself. I definitely think in cricket. I think in any ball and bat sports where, the force of it. Cricket, absolutely. And I believe with cricket, a lot of girls say it's actually when you're fielding.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, doesn't it?
Which I love in softball and things like that. I loved fielding. I like fielding more than batting for some weird reason.
Yeah. No, but I get that, because especially when you're close in and the ball comes pretty fast, do you know what I mean? You might not get your hands there in time.
Well, there's also a misconception. So, you might go into Rebel and see a bra that says high impact. That's high impact for bounce. It's got nothing to do with what's coming at you. So people think, that's high impact. I'll wear that because I'm playing this sort of sport. But it does nothing.
No.
The bra is great for bounce, but no force impact. That's why, our inserts are 2 millimetres thin and 15 grams. It's like you're wearing nothing.
That's incredible. That thin.
that thin. And they're flexible, but they have to be a bit hard to actually absorb the impact. And then you've got, World Rugby, you can't wear anything that's a bit hard. And it's like, but you haven't even had a look at what we're doing. They still have female athletes in padding about that fat.
Yeah, that's just, and it's
So
just.
we're not going to run faster and we're not going to do better when we've got bulk on us.
Yeah, and it's affecting movements and agility, so that's not useful.
Oh, absolutely. I always imagine the wind getting caught.
catching
Yeah.
signal and taking off.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I know that, this sounds like it's something that everyone needs to be aware of, or not sounds like it is. What's next? What's next for you? What's in the planning to get this out further or to...
Well, I've got a few things in the pipeline. As I say all the time, you just need that little bit of, something amazing, some recognition, like, we're going to launch with some rugby clubs soon. I've got a guy who's going to help me do, really take it to the next level, scale it, because I can't do that on my own. And as I said, you lose it too when you're so close to it. So, there's a few things that just to get over the edge will change everything, if that makes sense. So there's a few little hurdles that, may present itself in the positive in the next few months, and then that changes everything. So there's a lot of that.
Absolutely. But keeping everything crossed. And I know you've got like Katrina Gorry you've got some big names that are publicly supporting and advertising almost for you as well. So a little bit more of that would be helpful too, wouldn't it?
Well, it would. And look, Katrina was amazing because at the time she was breastfeeding. So we have a lot of athletes who are breastfeeding their children and they want to protect their milk supply. We've got a lot of athletes who might have had a mastectomy and they've had a reconstruction or nothing and they're wanting to get back into sport, but they're worried about their breasts being impacted. So every day I wake up, there's something new. When we launched, and the day we were launching was the day that COVID was announced, so our press release was going out that Monday, and a friend said, there's a thing coming called COVID. I'm like, what the hell's that? And then we were all stuck at home, as you remember, 3 kids being taught from school. My husband, real estate was one of the first to shut down. And at that time, my target was only AFLW. I was really only thinking them. And a lot of the presidents that I was even ringing, because my husband was home, because remember we didn't know how long we were going to be home, and they wouldn't speak to me, so I'd get him to ring and they'd speak boy footy stuff, and then he'd pop in about, have you heard of breast protection? And then they'd speak to him about it. But no one was interested in even talking to me about it. None of the male presidents. But then we realised, that COVID one, that we needed to change our strategy and we went into retail. But retail is good and bad because unless it's the mother, father, country town sports store who are, wanting to sell their items. If you've got little Johnny, 15, working in a ginormous store, he doesn't even know what they are. So, it's about the awareness. It's about, people coming really looking for it, and having some elite athletes spreading the word. A lot of them, the older ones don't want to change their things. Some of them strap their breasts and they're not interested, and that's fine. But we want to create it at grassroots level because that's when, the damage can be done, and creating the habit early on.
And it needs to almost be as second nature as wearing a box.
Well, it should be. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it seems so obvious, doesn't it? But, well, I'm a massive believer in your product. I think it's incredible. I just have a couple of what-if questions for you. So the first one is, what if you had to choose a completely different career tomorrow? What would it be and why?
Professional tennis player.
Haha, yes.
But not at this age. I've been in the system for years and I am really happy with how I'm going and touring the world still as an old lady. That's what I'd like, thanks.
Yeah, I could see you in a tennis kit. I reckon you'd rock it.
I did used to rock a tennis kit in the olden days. But I need to get onto it again. I actually had, because my son works at a golf club up here, and I had 2 lessons because I had lessons before the kids were born, and I didn't like it. And then I thought, right, Ned's up here, and he said, there's a really great coach here. So I actually really enjoyed it this time round. Made a lot of sense.
So I would be thinking, actually, golf I could do because you get cute outfits in golf too.
Yeah, I like the outfits too. I'm happy with the outfit. But I would have loved to have been a professional athlete if that was possible.
Yeah, right. Wow. Never say never, right?
Bit old now.
Maybe
Bit
for the
and I was
circus,
really
but,
sore. I was really sore after that golf. Ooh, those forearms.
this is it, isn't it? And I'm with you, like menopause, it just makes everything harder. Or perimenopause, it's like, recovery included.
It does. But if it wasn't something like that, it would be another business. So I have to say, professional athlete.
And you don't know what other business
Well,
area?
I've actually been playing around with something. I created a website using AI,
Yes.
and it's another niche, but I'm still playing around. So the website's up there. I've created content and things like that, and I'm doing it all with AI. And I'll just see. I'm not investing one single cent in it till I see if it gets any traction. So I'm sort of addicted to things like that.
I think with your brain being entrepreneurial and just the fact that you're always going, what if and where and what could happen? I just think it's probably endless. It probably just, you open up that creative brain and then it just goes all sorts of places you hadn't even imagined. It's very
I know,
exciting,
and
though,
the
isn't it?
only thing holding me back the whole time is money. Only thing.
Yeah.
Money is
Okay,
the key to everything.
If money was no issue, what would your business be in? Is that something different?
It would be completely different because I'd be able to produce what I want to produce using the athletes I want to use, or the talent, as in it could be, a soldier or something like that. I'd be able to do more. So absolutely, money is the biggest problem.
Yeah, challenge. I think that's probably so common for.
Yeah, because we've worked out what works and doesn't work. It's really the marketing, the spend, being able to afford the ads, trialing different platforms. So money.
Yeah. Okay, so we need a sponsor. Anyone listening? Major
And we
sponsor,
want someone
please.
who's passionate about, protecting girls for long-term breast health, because we now have the data that shows that it affects breastfeeding. So I had a lot of friends who couldn't breastfeed. The nurses made them feel like they were failures, and who knows what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Wow. Okay, and the last what if question. What if you could let go of one of your biggest fears? What would it be?
You're going to laugh at what my fear is.
No, not at all.
Driving on freeways.
Oh, okay. Why?
I don't like myself driving on a freeway. I had an experience coming back from the snow when I was younger. My boss wouldn't let me so it was like a long weekend, and we had the Tuesday off but not the Monday, and my boss made me come home, and it was terrible weather. I was coming back from Bulla, and I wasn't a skier or anything, and it was torrential rain. There were logger trucks, and I ended up crawling in the dark into a petrol station outside Melbourne, and Mum and Dad came and picked me up. And forever since then, I hate driving fast on a freeway, and I hate trucks. So if I could let go of that, it would change my life, because everyone laughs at me that I do the round route.
Okay, so it would change your life by making how? By making you get there more efficiently and faster?
Yes, and not have panic attacks. And when I do try,
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it. I get really sweaty, and I used to even be a bad passenger. So that would be amazing, because it would just take this bit out of my brain, this fear that I really don't need. It's boring, isn't it?
No, of course. But because like a lot of fears, it would affect like your plans for a day. If you have to go somewhere, you'd be like, oh, like you're going to have to account for that in things, the plans you make and what your itinerary and all sorts of things. Like it would have a big impact.
When we drive down for like Christmas holidays, say down to the peninsula, it used to be, who wants to go with Dad? Who wants to go with me? Well, the dog always came with me, but they'd also, like Gerald would go the freeway and I'd go the scenic route. And I was like, you didn't even beat me by very much, so don't worry about that. But like, we love Lawn and places like that, but I'm like, I couldn't go down in another car because I hate that freeway. That's probably my number one freeway I hate, the Geelong one.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not great anyway, but wow, there you go. Well, I understand that, and that's definitely not funny. And if it makes you feel any better, not that I have a fear, although I kind of, it's not like that, but my son, bless him, takes photos of my parking because it is so bad that now I think I've created this like paranoia. I can't seem to drive into a car park, so
Oh, that's
it's
funny.
just
Are
it
you going in
impacts where
backwards?
I'm going because I go
Well, you just got to go backwards.
backwards. I'm better. Yeah,
You
backwards
go
I'm better,
backwards.
but frontwards I'm like, okay, I have to park so far away to try and get somewhere where. But even going backwards, I'm like, oh, is my nose going to hit? I don't know. So
Does your car
I
have
do
to
get
give
that
it?
it affects.
Does it have the sensor?
Yes, but yeah, but I don't know. I'm still don't trust the parameters. Like I still don't know that I'm gonna not scrape the front of the. Anyway, it
Oh,
does affect. Yeah.
it's really weird because I've had with the car I've got currently. I've had for a couple of years, but it lies, so it has you quite far out from the curb, even though you're following. Compared to my old
Yeah.
one, which I was perfect next to the curb, I'm like, is that my park? Wow, I'm out far.
Or maybe I just need to get like a car that self parks for me or something like
Well,
that as
I
well.
mean, they're available.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, I fully understand it. Suzie, thank you so much, and thank you for caring so much about women in sport and the impact to our bodies and our health, because it is such an important thing that you're doing, and I love your product. Do you know, even going to the Cairo, I feel like it hurts my boobs.
Oh, the Cairo, yeah.
But I wonder if it would help with that, because that's a heavy. I don't know. I'm happy to put
No,
it in if
well,
it's.
if you don't, well, he's not meant to hurt your boobs. I'm saying
No,
it's a he, isn't it?
it's a friend. No, it's actually a girl. But the table, when she does my back, I'm like, oh God, it just hurts,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
invested at all.
Well, I think in
So
this instance, you want to, well, it shouldn't be doing that. You want them to sort of spread out a bit. But, mate, nice if the table had some holes in it.
I know, not that they'd fill holes, but still, maybe a bit more padding for the table. So anyway, but
There's
I
a hole
just
for your head, isn't there?
yes, that yeah, down the track. I don't know what you do with that, but anyway, your product is amazing, and I just am very happy to promote this anywhere I can, because I just think it is so important, and I would love to see it become almost mandated that
You know,
women need to wear.
that's my goal. But, as soon as it's mandated, they're admitting there's a problem. And that's been a lot of, the hierarchy don't want to do that.
Because once they do that, there potentially opens a door for lawsuit, doesn't it? A litigation of we weren't protected and now we are. So is that going to be a complete block for moving forward?
I just don't know. It's just,
No.
I hope not. I hope people see through it. That
Yeah.
like the guys, we're back to the box, aren't we?
Yeah. Was there ever a time before the box where they didn't have to
I
wear
think
one?
the box was created in the 1800s
Oh, well, of course it was. And is
with
it
probably
compulsory?
metal from the royal palace or something like that.
Gold plated.
Yeah,
Is it for the jewels?
crown jewels. Why wouldn't it be?
That's exactly right. Is it compulsory for men to wear a box?
I thought it was, but I'm not actually. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's like a mouth guard. Do you know what I mean? It is compulsory, no mouth guard, no play.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a lot of, well, I also know kids who don't wear mouth guards. Shin guards, they wouldn't go on without shin guards. It's just got to be looked at and
Do you
accepted
know
that,
what? I'm just
go.
yeah. No, I was going to say, like mouthguards now, compulsory for juniors, maybe that's where you start. When you're an adult, choose your own. But if it's compulsory for juniors to wear breast, and especially for year 5 and 6, when they're developing, it must be super important. But to have these in, that's when you can create habit and
That's right.
expectations.
But you've got some who support it and then some who don't. So there's a lot of barriers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've got to take the supporters
Of
who
course.
can lead the way.
Yeah, and you do need clubs and other people championing this for you, because you can't do it on your own. You need to have that support.
No, and
So,
we have had some amazing clubs. Soccer clubs, I don't know if it's a European thing. Some of them are like, right, we'll buy them for the whole club. We're going to protect
awesome.
every girl as a duty of care. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's where I reckon it's going to end up, Susie. I reckon that's it is duty of care, because
Duty of
as
care.
adults we have to be the responsible ones now for our juniors. Love that. Keep everything crossed, because I feel like it just naturally has to have a future and an evolution because it's just such an amazing product.
Well, let's hope. Let's pray.
Yes, absolutely. Suzie, thank you so much for your time. It's just been wonderful to have you on and so informative.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see this everywhere.
You're a sweetheart. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this conversation, I'd love you to subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Thank you to Suzie for sharing her journey with such honesty. I hope this conversation leaves you thinking more about the ideas, questions, or possibilities that keep calling you. More is possible than you think. It begins with one question. What if? Until next time, trust what keeps calling you.